So part one of this furniture flip project was all about sanding and stripping, but today we get to the fun stuff, paint, poly, and that sweet moment when it finally all comes together. The hardware got the usual treatment, some vinegar and baking soda, a boil, and then some scrubbing, and they turned out pretty good. I hauled the dresser out onto a pallet on my lawn so I could break out my new paint sprayer. Why yes, my neighbors are used to this by now. I got ambitious and decided to prime and paint two pieces side by side. Time saver? Yes. Sanity saver? Debatable. I'm still getting the hang of my new sprayer. My first coat of primer was way too light. The second coat was like a fire hose. By the time I got to the final two coats of paint later that evening, which isn't shown here, I had the dial set just right. Progress. I brought the drawers back inside only to discover bleed through. That mahogany can be tricky, so I had to add another layer of paint. The next day I had another Bondo mishap. I put it in and then sanded it down and the whole chunk came right off. Corners can be tricky for Bondo to adhere, so I went back and used some 2-ply epoxy wood putty instead. It takes longer to dry, but it really holds up nicely in spots like this. Then I went back and touched up the paint before I put on my polyurethane. I hand applied the poly to the drawers, but outside I got my sprayer out again and did 2 or 3 very light coats. Once the paint cured, I pulled off the plastic I'd used to protect the raw wood top. I wanted to have a rich dark stain to contrast with the lighter paint color, so I used some leftover walnut stain and then wiped it all down. Then I sealed the whole thing up with 2 coats of polyurethane. Ah, chef's kiss. Adding the hardware back was the final touch, and wow, it made the whole thing pop. I love the contrast of a stained top with the painted bottom. And if you follow me, you know I can't pass up a bow front dresser. This piece started in great shape, but the final result was even better than I expected. It's made me think twice about whether I want to flip it or keep it for myself. My name is Meg, and I show you practical tips for refinishing and flipping furniture. Be sure to hit the follow button for more.